All right, we are here at open session of the Castro Valley Unified School District meeting of the Board of Education. Open session, so we did not take any action in closed session. We have, let's see, we have the mission statement, which will be read by Trustee Kuziak.
We work together to provide safe, challenging, innovative, and culturally responsive learning environments to ensure that all our students feel respected and supported to achieve their unique academic potential and explore their individual talents.
Great, thank you. We now have our public comment instructions, which will be read by Vice President Raymond.
Good evening. All right. The board respects and encourages the public to comment on matters on the board agenda and within the board's jurisdiction. The board fully supports civil discourse and requests that everyone respect each other and their point of view. Individuals who would like to address the board must complete a request to speak form or via the Google form and submit it prior to the start of the agenda item. At the discretion of the board president, speaker cards may be accepted after the start of an agenda item. Your name will be called and you will either come to the podium to speak or be unmuted during your turn and be allowed to make public comment. After the allotted time, you will then be remuted. Individual speakers are asked to limit their comments to no more than 3 minutes unless the board decides otherwise. There are up to 30 minutes of public comment allowed on each agenda item. With board consensus, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed. This meeting is recorded to prepare for the official minutes. This meeting is being recorded to prepare for the official minutes. To comply with the Brown Act, the board may listen to comments from the speakers under public comment, but can neither discuss nor take action on those issues presented. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Raymond. Our next item, number 4, would be student board member report. If our student board, there we go. All right, perfect. So Scarlett Everson, let's just give her a minute to have a seat, take her bag down. Just hold on 30 seconds or so, okay, folks?
So, Board President Adams, maybe while Scarlett's getting settled,
Okay.
we have 2 of our new employees here
Okay,
that I want to
yes.
have Dr. Zamora introduce and ask them just to come up to the
That would be
podium and
great.
share a few things.
Yeah, please go, Dr. Zamora.
Thank you. So we were really fortunate. We had some new hires over the summer, and sometimes it's difficult to hire one school that's out, but we were fortunate to have applications, and we came down to some great candidates, and we whittled it down to 2. And so the first person I'll introduce is Coran Brinson, and he's the assistant principal at Castro Valley High School. Coran, would you like to come up and say a few words?
Come over there.
Ready, y'all.
Get on the mic.
Yeah. Good evening, board members. Thank you so much for allowing me to come and speak in front of you guys today. My name is Coran Brinson, as Dr. Zamora said. I'm the new assistant principal at the high school. I'm so excited. Just to tell you a little bit about my background. I'm originally from a small town in Georgia called Dublin. I didn't realize there was a Dublin, California, until I moved out here to the Bay Area. I've been in Oakland for 10 years now. I came out here as a parent organizer for 2 years, and then I decided to go back into the classroom as a 2nd grade teacher and a 7th and 8th grade teacher. And I'm excited about this being my 6th year as a high school administrator in the Bay Area. So thank you guys so much for giving me the privilege and the honor to be a part of this great school district. My first 6 days have been busy, but also exciting and rewarding. And I've enjoyed learning like students, parents, my colleagues, even a lot of folks also from the district office, everyone being so helpful and welcoming, and it already begins to feel like family. So thank you guys so much. Any questions or anything for me?
All right, I got you. Thank you.
Welcome. And now?
Our next candidate is Christy Padilla, and she's replacing our new Assistant Superintendent, Nick McMasters, and she's the Director of Student Services.
I always go back to safe and secure paper. Good evening, President Adams, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Rasici, and community. I want to express my sincere appreciation for the trust you've placed in me to serve as Director of Student Services. I feel truly honored to work alongside our dedicated board, cabinet, staff, families, and most importantly, our students. It's a privilege to be part of Castro Valley Unified School District. I look forward to working together to support every student's success. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. All righty. So now we will go back to student board member report. Scarlett Everson, your first official meeting.
Thank you. I'm so sorry I was late. I missed a turn and I couldn't make a U-turn. I don't have much to share. Everyone is getting back into the groove for school. Paula Maris had a picnic on August 8th for families and students. And the high school is already getting ready for homecoming. But other than that, everyone is just getting back into the groove of school.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Now we have the superintendent's report. Superintendent Rishichi.
Thank you. So good evening, everyone, board members and cabinet members and stakeholders in the audience. Tonight I have a short report. It's the beginning of the school year. We're really excited. First days of school, we have been off to a great start. And, see the bright colors and the energy around our schools is so magical right now. Just really excited about the energy that's happening and the vibe that is happening at our schools, because everybody has been so welcoming and inclusive and excited to get school back off the ground. So a couple of pictures that I just wanted to showcase about, here's what some of the welcome back looks like at some of our schools right now. You see some of the folks that, parents, teachers, administrators, other staff, students, and this group right here, I just don't know about them, but they're the administrators over at the high school. We first day of school, we were walking with the team over there and just going through classrooms and making sure folks had what they needed. So just a few pictures to showcase some great facts about our school district. We are in growing enrollment. We have 9,666 students, up by 400 plus students, which is pretty amazing. A lot of our surrounding school districts are in declining enrollment. So we feel pretty blessed about that. Our number of staff overall, we're over the 1,136 staff members, both certificated, classified, and management. We have over 65 languages that are spoken in our district and growing. And we are fully staffed. Thank goodness to the hard work of our HR department and all of the folks that have a hand in touching, making sure that staffing actually happens at our school sites. So we're in really good shape. And I've had some conversations with other superintendents around the local area, and we're in good shape. And we should feel really good about that. A few upcoming events. We have our first Parent Leadership Council of the school year. It's virtual. We'll be sending out the Zoom link to all of the school parent representatives. So that's next Wednesday, August 20th. And then we have our first Black family gathering of the school year at Stanton again on August 22nd. And then I couldn't pass up the opportunity to just say, I went last Sunday. I attended the Castro Valley Arts Foundation's Mary Poppins show at the CFA, and it was just amazing. Professional, engaging, fun. The crowd was rocking and rolling with the actors up on stage, and they were just fabulous. So congratulations to the Castro Valley Arts Foundation, because they really are putting on quite professional performances. And that's my report. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Superintendent. All right. Oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
I just want to make one quick comment. You started off with a slide showing kindergarten. That's, I think about this every year, just about. That's the class of 2038 that just walked through the doors. It's sort of amazing.
Yeah, yeah, 2030. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
mass of 38. Wow. Okay, thanks. All right, we're going to have our California School Employees Association and California Teachers Association reports, if we have those folks. First would be CSEA, if we have a Connie Hill or a representative. Manuel is online. Manuel? Here he is.
Good evening, members of the board, Superintendent Rashichi, and those in attendance. My name is Manuel Cortes Rodas. I am the Chief Union Steward for CSEA Chapter 52, filling in for our president, Connie Hill, and I'm here to provide an update on CSEA activities. Our members are back in school, helping students and their families navigate school enrollment and assisting teaching staff set up and prepare for classrooms. Thank you to our maintenance staff and the custodial staff for working over the summer to get our schools and classrooms ready. Our transportation department and the drivers who make sure students arrive on time and get dropped off home. Cafeteria workers whose dedication and outstanding work ethic make sure that students have breakfast and lunch available. Our special education and ELD paraprofessionals whose role as liaison helps assist alleviate the needs of those who require language or special assistance. And also the administrative assistants and technicians who do an outstanding job solving problems and ensuring that the function of the district as a whole continues with the highest professional standards. And all CSEA members in the various roles they perform. We're starting the school year with focus on healthcare. Nearly 70% of our CSEA members consider healthcare a high priority. We want to thank the Health Benefit Committee of the district, CBTA, and CSEA for all the work they've done over the last few months to provide a viable option in a positive direction. Chapter leadership is arduously working on language that can be presented to our members for a vote, and we look forward to a collaboration that will maintain the highest healthcare options for our members while helping alleviate the financial burden to our employees. Thank you for your time this evening, and I look forward to representing CSEA Chapter 52 at the board meetings throughout the 2025-26 school year.
Thank you, Mr. Cortez Rodas. We will now hear from Castro Valley Teachers Association, CBTA. I believe Laura's and Sepulveda is in the audience. Come on up.
Thank you, President Adams. Excuse me. Good evening. My name is Laura Sepulveda, President of Castro Valley Teachers Association. I'd like to begin tonight by welcoming the new faces in the room and around the dais, particularly our student board member and former Creekside student, Miss Scarlett Everson. I know you'll be an effective advocate for the scholars of CVUSD. While it's difficult to still wrap my head around the fact that today, on August 13th, we've already been back in school for over a week, I can assure you that we're ready for this school year. The beginning of the academic year always brings a particular excitement coupled with exhaustion. Whether it's our elementary colleagues making sure their classrooms and workspaces are just so, our secondary colleagues reviewing and tweaking lesson series to make them more meaningful and engaging, our non-classroom teaching colleagues reviewing individual student schedules and accommodations to ensure their needs are met from the beginning, or all colleagues welcoming new staff to our sites and helping them understand the intricacies of their roles. Every CVTA member has spent ample energy making sure that our students are well taken care of as we begin this school year. We are feeling optimistic about administrative leadership changes that have taken place at the district office. We are hopeful that Dr. Rashid Shi Mr. McMaster, Ms. Padilla, and Ms. Wong respectively will be able to carry out student-centered visions in their new roles while ensuring transparent decision-making, effective communication, and purposeful collaboration among stakeholders. Castro Valley Unified is well poised to move forward in a proactive way should those principles guide all decisions moving forward. Excuse me. Or not. I doubt there are very many reflective people in the room who would argue that we ended last school year in a wholly positive way. There were a number of questionable decisions and missteps that eroded the trust employees have in both the school board and district office leadership. And unlike the school year, summer break didn't put those issues to rest or box them up and shelve them as relics of the past. While it is not our preferred method of labor relations, we intend to pursue every contractual, legal, and political avenue available to us to protect all our membership from unfair practices, cloaked in secrecy, or disguised as collective good. We have again offered several opportunities for mediation rather than arbitration over the summer, only to have our offers rebuffed. This lets us know that thus far, there is no intention to change the process that soured relations and mired progress in the spring. We are not a union of blind faith. My membership is keenly aware of district changes that take place, small or sweeping, and somewhat distrustful of the process behind them. Colleagues reach out to me regularly and hold me responsible for union action or inaction, whether it is ultimately my decision or not. I am expected to reach agreements with or fight against management as appropriate in a way that favorably benefits our membership and the students we serve. As the adults in the classroom, all day, every day, we are well aware of how to best serve our students, not only as a class set, but as individuals. Yet, CVTA cannot do this alone. The tone of this year is set by you, the school board, and your demands of the leaders you've eagerly hired, appointed, or continue to support. You were elected to be critically thoughtful voices for the community we live in and the families we educate and serve, not unquestioning rubber stamps of district narrative. You have a choice to make as to how you will execute your governing role this year, and CVTA anxiously awaits your decision. As always, your actions will speak louder than your words. Here's wishing everyone a positive and fulfilling 2025-2026 school year. Together, we can achieve great things for students and staff alike. I thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. All righty, we are going to go, we have a public comment for items not on the agenda. Do we have anybody? No. All right. We have our consent agenda. Looking for a motion?
I would move approval of the consent agenda, please.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to start with Trustee Whitaker. Oh, I'm so sorry. We are not going to start with Trustee Whitaker. We're going to start with Student Board Member Emerson. Yes. Your vote on the consent agenda. So it's a yay or a nay?
I vote yay.
Thank you. And then Trustee Whitaker,
Yes.
and then Trustee Kuziak,
Yes.
and Trustee Howard,
Yes.
and Trustee Raymond. I will also vote yes. We have passed the consent agenda. Now we have reports, discussion, and action items. And our first of those is about Resolution 04-2526. First, we have information, then we have an action on this. And our presenter is, hi, Shen.
Good evening, everyone. I bring a short resolution for you. This is requesting a resolution to declare its intent to convey an easement to PG&E to allow for access to install and maintain infrastructure for electric vehicles at Canyon Middle School. So this is the first step in the process to convey an easement. So hopefully after you approve, we will then send out public notice and we will come back for the next board meeting for a public hearing and also put a resolution to adopt the conveyance. So this is, this started with the Carl Moore grant that we had gotten for our 2 electric buses, and we've been working on the infrastructure project. So this is hopefully one of our close to final steps with PG&E.
Okay.
So any questions?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. This is for our electric buses that we purchased last year, right? That we got last year from some grants and everything.
Yes.
Yay, wonderful. Well, so we need a motion.
I'll move approval of the resolution as stated.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second.
And a second. All right, and then, yeah. Oh, do we have questions from anybody? Yes, I guess we do. Yes, please go, Trustee Raymond.
So just for clarification, the easement is sort of, is this to be an extension of the infrastructure that was put in place for the vehicle charging for the buses?
Yes, so what it does is that we have, PG&E provides the power to all of our sites. And whenever PG&E, so there's a difference in terms of PG&E owned equipment and district owned equipment. And when that equipment comes onto our district property, then they would ask for an easement because they're on our property. So right now, there's actually a current easement that extends their service all the way down halfway through the back of the gym towards our mechanics shop. That's where our main service is. So this easement continues, so they take it pretty much down the fire lane towards softball and rounds its way, hugging the fire lane. And then it'll turn into where the tennis courts was, into where we have our electric charging. So this is all of PG&E's work through Rule 29, which is a tariff that directs PG&E to provide this infrastructure. And they actually provide it by their costs. And other construction projects that we work with PG&E on, the district actually pays for PG&E's infrastructure costs. So this is actually another win for us
So
too.
does this expand our capabilities then?
Yes.
Okay.
This also brings, so in them bringing essentially they're bringing another service for the charging. And this service is actually at a discounted rate because they're EV vehicles.
But is it still just for the buses or is it to be
It's
able to expand it so that?
It can be expanded. It's for EV charging, so it can be expanded to our white fleet and possibly for public charging too, but it's
Okay.
for electric vehicle charging.
Thank you. I appreciate the clarification. Thank you.
I guess I have a question too. Is it just like 2 plugs or for 2 buses, or is it more than that?
Currently, we will have 4 ports, we call it.
Okay.
How it's set up is we have 2, what they call PCS, which runs 4 of them. So it's like dual ports. So we were able to get that because they assume 1 PCS is for 1 charger. So it lets us build the capacity to have more buses when they come. With PG&E, our plan with them is the final build out for that site is to have 20 vehicles charging. So it's 10 PCS and 20 ports, as I call it, like the plugs.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Nope. Okay, great. So now I am looking for a motion on this. Yes? We did motion, we need to vote. Okay, so sorry. Student Board Member Emerson.
Yes.
Yes. And Trustee Whitaker?
Yes.
Yes. Trustee Kuziak?
Yes.
Trustee Howard?
Yes.
Trustee Raymond?
Yeah.
And I will also vote yes. That is 6-0. Great. Yeah, we've got our electricity for our buses and
So-
such.
See you next time for the public hearing.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, we have B, our update on the enacted state budget for 25-26. This is a presentation.
Yes. Oh, it is, that's the presentation. This is no action this time because the enacted budget did not have significant changes from the budget that you approved in June. So I will go over a few of these, actually all the slides, but it's not a whole lot. So the overview of the 25-26 budget, enacted budget, this is at the state level. So you're looking at the revenue and transfers there, and also all the way down to rainy day fund, and I have a slide about that. So the 25-26 enacted budget addresses the 11.8 billion shortfall. And we heard this in January, and also it may revise. So this is not new to us. We've heard about the shortfall in the collection of taxes, and also other reductions that state is facing. So again, that 11.8 billion shortfall, and how the governor closed the budget gap with a combination of solutions that are listed. Program reductions, notably Medi-Cal, loans, borrowing and shifting of funds, and also withdrawing from the Proposition 98 reserves. Bridge to the state budget, you can see there the condition. It's raining. So these are the things that we're very, we're looking at and continue to monitor. It's there's a state structural deficit through 28-29, sensitive to the federal and fiscal monetary policy changes that we've heard about. And again, I have a slide on that one. Tariffs that can reduce the revenue by 15 billion, right? So, and then the cost shifts from DC to state obviously will put actually pressure on the budget. So looking at Proposition 98, the rainy day fund, as you can see in 22-23, where we had a $8.1 billion in the Proposition 98 rainy day fund. In 23-24, zero. That means we, the governor withdrew 8.1 billion to close the or balance the budget. And on 24-25, which was just last year, put it in, made the deposit, which is a mandatory deposit of 455, but at the same time in 25-26, withdrew all that money. So we are looking at 25-26 with a zero rainy day fund. So what does that mean locally? Again, we are, our revenue, our state revenue, or I should say, most of our revenue, 96%, is coming from the state. So we're heavily reliant on the state funding. So the reason why that state structural deficit impacts us because of that 96%. So that's why it's there. Wall Street reaction to fiscal, monetary, and trade policies, federal funding also, and then of course increasing costs, smaller COLAs that we've seen compared to prior years, where we saw 8%, 5%, and now we're seeing a smaller COLA. So included or as part of governor's way to balance the budget is a deferral. So we knew this in May revised that his proposal at that time is to withhold the entire June apportionment. And so that is going to happen in 25-26. And this time there is actually if these school districts are not able to meet their financial obligation, there is actually an exemption process compared to prior year. We did not have that. This year we do. So that is available to us if we ever are put in that position. So deferral is June apportionment. So what that means is we still get to account the revenue. It's cash that we actually don't receive. So there's no impact as far as revenue. For the state, it means they don't get to account for that revenue in 25, 26 because they're not actually paying it to us. They will pay that the following year. Yes.
So I'm just taking us back to, I know they're not called bonds, but if we find ourselves in a situation where we can't defer,
Mhm.
we would just say, hey, give us the money. But will other districts maybe pursue those like anticipation bond? What are those?
Correct. Yes.
We might be hearing about those again.
We might, and that's what we're looking at. First interim, it will be the first report that we will share with you our cash flow. So that means looking at for the rest of the year if we need to go that route. So yes.
So what would stop us from asking for an exemption? Well, why? I mean, it's theoretically they could say no.
Correct.
But do
We
we have any criteria from the state about how they'll determine that?
No, there hasn't been. So that is something because this is new, so we don't have that information as far as what how we meet that threshold. So what's available to us is local school districts is borrowing from other funds. If you have funds within your budget, then you can borrow up to 75%. And then the requirement is you pay it back within 180 days and also with interest earned.
If I've learned anything over the past few years is that I do believe our district has a pretty sound budget, right? Pretty tight. Overall, our reserves have gone down, and that's aligned with everyone in the state of California.
That's correct.
All those ambitious goals to like have a nice reserve, that's kind of gone away. So I'm just, when I think about our enrollment situation, though, that seems like that's another thing that's working in our favor in terms of maintaining our overall cash flow as we go forward.
That's correct.
And I think another thing to think about again, and I think it's important you state this about the federal side, and I think that's really opened my eyes in the past few years, how very little, they're using it for other reasons, but how very little revenue we rely on there on a daily basis.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me talk that out loud.
Yep. Welcome.
You know, several years ago, we went through this exact situation, only it was far worse than this. And they did actually defer us for a couple of months at least, and it was earlier in the year. And we had to make all sorts of plans to be able to get past that. In the end, we didn't have to pull the trigger on any of that stuff.
That's correct. Yeah.
And then more recently, we did have that potential deferral in June. This only hurts school districts that have a cash flow problem, and we have historically not had that problem. And I'd suspect that we're unlikely. This is a minor hiccup. Maybe it's harder for other districts, but we should not have a problem. I don't anticipate a problem here at all.
That's correct. I don't anticipate because it's a 1 month and it's for a few days. So compared to years ago when it's actually a lot more, right? They were looking at 3 or 4 months of deferral.
Other questions from the board?
Okay, so then a few more slides here that's included in the budget. The Student Support and Professional Development Discretionary Block Grant, this is a $1.7 billion, estimated to be $315 per ADA. That is actually now in the enacted budget. So the allowable spending uses are listed below, and funds are available for expenditure until June 30th, 2029. So we are waiting for final allocation from the state, as this one just recently passed. So we will provide that information as of first interim. There's also the literacy instruction professional development here. It's $200 million. It's funding to train certificate and classified staff who provide literacy instruction And this is for instruction in grades TK to 5. What's interesting about this apportionment is actually we need to use the approved providers. So in order to use these funds. So we will learn more as we get the information. So we'll share that with you. But that was the interesting thing about this 200 million is that we actually need to, when we do the PD, we are only allowed to use from the list of approved providers.
By CDE in Sacramento.
That's correct. Expanded Learning Opportunities Program, you're familiar with this one. This is the current, the enacted budget is $4.5 billion. So there is an increase of 0.5 billion ongoing funds. The change that the governor made from prior to this year is really the thresholds, right? So the unduplicated pupil percentage that you see there, UPP, instead of 75% that was previous year, it's now down to 55%, greater or equal to 55% must offer services to all students. So we are not in that rate 1. We are actually in rate 2 because we're below the 55% unduplicated students. So what does that mean for us? Our rate is the intent for us to receive $1,575 per unduplicated student. Because there are more districts that will meet that 55 plus threshold, and they get $2,750, the remaining balance out of that $4.5 billion then goes to rate 2. So we will not get, at least the estimate is we will not get the $1,575 per student. As of the calculation at the end of January, at the end of July, we may be getting 1,250 per student. So this is very different. The amount is different than what we received in the prior year, where we were at 1,750. So this is a $500 reduction in the current year, if that ever be the case, after they do the final calculation.
And what's our current UPP, like 40-ish?
Yes, we're 43%. Okay, so I mentioned about the federal funds. You've heard in July, Washington, D.C. Withheld funds until further review. We had a list. Oh, actually, the list is right there on the right side. Title 1, 2, 3, 4, adult ed as well. So when we did when we looked at all of these funds that were going to be impacted at that time, it was about $600,000 a hit to us if the federal government decides not to release these funds. So we've had conversations in our executive cabinet on things that we can do. But fortunately, we did hear that they were done. The federal government they finished the review and they will release the funds, and that's as of the end of, I believe, at the beginning of August. Last week, I did confirm they released all funds to the state, and the state is now going to process the payments to school districts. So we should expect that in the next 6 weeks. So that should not impact our cash flow. So one of the things that I do want to note, this is for 25-26 funding. And this is the reason why, and I believe this is the reason why these funds were released, is because the Congress actually approved these back in March. So what does that mean for us? We need to continue to monitor that for next year, we might be in the same situation, or that these funds will not be released at all. So just putting that on your radar, that but we will continue to monitor and update you on the development of how these funds are going to be released or not next year. So, but yeah, so I know that a lot of districts, including our district, was very concerned. We've received requests for information as far as the impact on this, on staffing and programs. And so, so this is really, you know, $600,000 is a good chunk of money, and programs that have already been approved through the CBB process in place. And so, so this is really alarming to hear that this may continue to be reviewed in the future. Okay, and then that's my presentation. If you have any questions.
Some more questions, comments? Yeah. Trustee Howard.
Yeah, I just wanted to go back, quick question, a couple of slides back where you're talking about the ELOP funds.
Yes,
It looks like there's a pretty dramatic drop there.
yes,
Have, we let, I'm sure we've let
Yes.
Play CV know.
yes.
Because that directly impacts them and their budget is tight already.
That's correct. Yes. As soon as I received the information, I did pass along to them. They are aware, but I'm glad that you actually, thank you for bringing this back, because I did forget the other piece of it. So there are some districts that CDE reported that are not offering the program, ELA program, because they may already have the 21st century, that they have a program and they don't need the additional funds for after school program. So there is a way for CDE to capture that information where they ask to certify if we are going to provide the after school program using ELOP funds or not. And so once they collect that information, they actually, for the money that's not being used, redistribute it back to rate 2 districts like us. So while there is there is an impact for us this year, we're also expecting some money coming back to us from rate 1 districts that are not offering the program. But we won't know until probably the end of the year. So there's a lag, a year, probably a 1-year lag before we find out. Thank you.
Trustee Kuziak.
I'm appreciating that he mentioned that about Play CV. Does this put cost pressure on Play CV in terms of, I know some of their students, families pay for
Yes.
access to it. So inherently that might mean that some of their costs could go up and maybe tuition for the programs might go up, or no?
Potentially, yes. Yes, because we continue to have students that are eligible participating. And so we only get, this pot of money that can be used for our eligible students. As that program continues and more students are eligible, then yes, so there may be some adjustments that they need to make for fee-based students.
And I know this is not a Play CV board meeting, but I mean, as a nonprofit, I'm assuming that they could engage in fundraising efforts, right, if they wanted to.
Absolutely. And my understanding is that is always their goal, to actually look into other revenue generating opportunities. Yep.
Any other comments, questions? All right. Thank you very much for your update on our state budget. Something we're going to have to keep a good eye on. All right. We are now going to move to the personnel report.
I'd like to move approval of the personnel report.
I'll second it.
Okay, so this is personnel. It will not be with our student member. I'll start with Trustee Whitaker.
Yes.
Yes, and then Trustee Kuziak,
Yes.
Trustee Howard,
Yes.
Trustee Raymond,
Yes.
and I will also vote yes. So that's 5-0. The personnel report has unanimously been voted on. We are on 9D. Approved provisional internship permit request for Stephanie Alance education specialist, mild moderate support needs for SDC class at Marshall.
So if you recollect, we did a study session on all the different waivers that we apply for. I hope you remember PIP. So this is one of the ways that we are fully staffed by allowing Stephanie to go and get on the waivers until she gets her coursework done. And we are recommending approval of the waiver.
I'll move approval of the waiver.
Okay. And a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. All right, this is also a personnel matter, so we'll start with Trustee Whitaker.
Yes.
Yes, Trustee Kuziak.
Yes.
Trustee Howard.
Yes.
Trustee Raymond.
Yes.
And I will also vote yes. 5-0. Now we have a presentation on the launch of our new Castro Valley Unified School District website.
Ms. Kayer.
Thank you. Thank you, Amy.
Yeah, multitasking.
Yes.
Hi, good evening. I'm just gonna put that one up there. Alrighty, sorry. Can everyone see me okay still? So this is our new website, and we just wanted to give you a quick overview and update on some of the major changes from our previous provider that we are hoping that the community and our families are going to love, because I love it as well. So one thing you'll notice right off the bat is, depending upon the size of your screen, it will actually, oops, sorry, it will change. Our headers will change to make it super user-friendly for any size screen. So this is at 75%, goes to 2 lines. So ADA compliance for this website is phenomenal. It will not let you publish anything on the website that is not ADA compliant. It goes one step further, and it will actually tell you when something's wrong. It will tell you that such and such color doesn't go with whatever background it will be. And it doesn't let you move any further. Then it also gives you a link to show you, oh, hey, might be a better color option. It doesn't do it for you, but at least guides you to, so you can learn, since we're all learners. It will help you learn what color options are better for screen readers and so on, which is phenomenal. Also, every picture will not let you save it until you have a caption on it. And it actually helps with AI generated captions. So it actually helps you do that, because sometimes it's like, oh, student in a class, it will do the sentence for you and you don't have to worry about it. Super user-friendly for all of our sites, since they are in charge of their own websites. So we're a little bit different in this district where we put it on the school sites. And sometimes it's the principals, sometimes it's the secretaries, or sometimes even it's another office staff person at the schools. Some comments for the new sites have been phenomenal. They said it's super user-friendly. Some of our principals that are not super tech savvy are loving it, and their websites look amazing. Some key features that we want to highlight is, overall, every front page is the same format. The nice feature now is that every school site can kind of move things where they'd like to put them. So for instance, when you guys did your videos, we took out the front picture and I put the videos here. If you go to another school site, which now it's on the top, easy to find, they may have a little bit of a different format. They may have pictures there, they have upcoming events. Whereas if you go back to ours, we usually have pictures first. We have core values, because that's what's really important to us. Then we have latest news, because we want to make sure our families have the latest news. So school sites now have that flexibility to kind of make it what's important for their school site families. You know, maybe it's the calendar, maybe it's, you know, the latest news. Another feature that we did with this website is we kind of reorganized the top bar. Enrollment and registration was one of the top hits when we did our analytics last year. So we wanted to make sure that it's right up front for everybody to see. So when you click on that, you now have everything under one bar, hopefully making it a lot easier for families to find the information that they need. The other thing on this website is we now have translation right at the top. On our last, it was at the bottom and it made it a little bit harder to find. Right now, it's right smack dab on the top along with the search bar and this new feature of quick links. Every school site has the ability to create quick links for what their sites need. So for us, it's more district related, the calendar, enrollment, registration, areas, and so on. But for a school site, some of them are their student handbooks, it's the bell schedules, it's their school calendar, and usually their parent group is probably some of the top searches for some of the school sites. On here, we now have our new feature, which we briefly discussed the other day, where should I go for help? So now when you log into here, we have this whole content information all about our process, how to start talking at the school site versus coming straight to the superintendent's office. And at the very bottom, there is a little cheat sheet one-pager that families can print out. I did see some families already posting it on social media, which is phenomenal. So the word's already getting out there that this is out and about. And then we've also updated the spreadsheet with all the contact information for the school sites. I've recently gone in and updated all the links to the schools. So a family can just click on that link for that school and go directly there, making it a lot easier for anybody to figure out where they need to go. So yeah, this is just one more way that we're trying to make more content user-friendly and available for all of our families. One of the other features that's fantastic is it's fully integrated with Parent Square. So a lot of our parent groups use Parent Square to send messages for their events. Now they have the ability to push it straight to the website. So for instance, I just sent out during the meeting our press release on our new director here, and within 2 seconds, it's already on our website. Famous already. Yeah, so it's a great way for now even parent groups to push, you know, let's just say their Tiger-thon, whatever it may be, right out and about on their front page. So families, even if they go to the website, they'll see the same things that may also be in their email. So it's one more way to have it out there for everybody to see. And that's our new website.
All right. Trustee Raymond?
This is such a massive improvement.
I love it.
It's probably no secret to most people who know me. I've been asking for the website to be kind of reviewed and possibly overhauled since I was like a parent of Vanoy 100 years ago. So this is like, it's so much easier to use now. And I say this as a parent. I've already had to like go in and find things that, you know, previously, even though I found them before, always takes me 15 minutes to find them again. And now I find them immediately, you know, so it's great. So seriously, bravo. Thank you for all the work that went into this. This is great.
Trustee Kuziak?
Yeah, I also want to thank you for your efforts on this. It's nice to hear that you have a CMS here that really builds in the compliance features, because that can be really tough when you don't have that built in. So I appreciate that. Did you get rid of a lot of old content? Did you reimagine sort of the different categories of how things work?
So part of the process for migration is I had to do a spreadsheet for every school site, and everything on that top bar and everything underneath, I had to lay out on a spreadsheet, and I had to do all the links from what we wanted migrated over from the old site. So I really took time to see, do we really need that? Do we not need that? Okay, let's just migrate it over, but I'm going to clean it up when it comes through. And then at that time, I really looked at school sites, school websites across the entire state to see what other states, how they organize things, just because I'm like, I didn't love how it was before, and I wanted to kind of streamline it and make it more user-friendly. And so it took a few tweaks, but this is where we came to on this. And then school sites are a little bit different, depending. Elementary is a little bit different from secondary and middle schools. And the high school are all a little bit different, but the overarching is the same. So yeah, it took a minute to get rid of some stuff and figure out what was important and what wasn't anymore.
I mean, that version of the CVE bear is super cute.
Yes.
I'm curious, if people want to provide feedback, and I'm assuming you have received feedback since this has been published, that's something that people can do that, right? Great. Thank you so much. And I know like these evolve over time, and that's how you.
What's great about this was, so it's Aries, which is Parent Square, which is Smart Sites. They're all housed together. Aries owns everybody. And so what's great is it's fully integrated with everything. And the front page, because we couldn't update the front page very easily. We were locked into what the format was. This really makes it so if we do get feedback and go, oh, we really want this, we can easily go in and make it what we want it to be. So the flexibility and the ease of some of those suggestions, or having the ability to take off the banner pictures and put your videos, was huge. Wouldn't have been able to do that on the last website.
All right. It looks terrific. Yeah, great job. All right, thank you so much. We are going to, we're at board member comments and reports. So I'll start with our student board member. If you have anything else, any other comments you'd like to make? No, okay, then I'll go to trustee Whitaker.
I have only represented the board with the things that I've been with you all with, and I know that we had this great workshop recently, and I just want to thank the board and Superintendent Rashichi for our time together. I think it was a really great conversation, and I really appreciate everybody being so open and vulnerable and really coming together as a team. It means a lot, and I'm really looking forward to what we can do together this year and supporting our kids and our staff and our teachers and trying to make this the best that we can together. So just want to say thank you all. And just as a reminder, I will be out of the country the 24th through the 7th of September, and then out of the country again the 15th of September through, I believe, the 22nd. Thank you.
If you're going back to Germany, I'm jealous. Oh, back to Berlin. Okay.
Trustee Kuziak.
Yeah, since our last general meeting, I've been up to a few things. So I was really happy to be able to go to our welcome back. That was for classified staff. No, the barbecue.
The barbecue,
That
yes.
was so much fun to be there. Saw some of my buddies there. I'm gonna miss Francisco at Creekside, seeing him every day. But just the great job with the a lot of prizes were given out. It was just fun to be with the team there, and then also got to go back to the event for our new certificated employees. So that includes not just our teachers, but like school psychologists, other folks who work directly with our students. And something that the superintendent pointed out to me, and I think was something to think about our district, is we had a lot of veteran certificated staff joining our district. And that I think that says something about why people want to be at this district. And I will say this again, and it's aligned with the vision that we have up there. A lot of the folks in that room didn't look like me, so I think we're making progress in ensuring that we are building a teacher population that looks like our kids and shares their experiences. So I really appreciated that. I was able to go to Pride this summer, and I was really happy to be there with our superintendent. I think, was that like your first public event or something? Yeah. It was a good time and a good reminder of how far this community has come, and also kind of a sad time to think about how many in our community are being targeted. It was, as a board member, there was one family that shared some concerns about an incoming student, and it was a relief to be able to say to this family, we have the supports in place to support you, and to know that we could have a quiet conversation and make sure that family would be greeted in a positive way. I know many people in my lives who are trans. I've met, I know folks who will not be getting the affirming care that they should be getting. And it saddens me how the LGBTQ community continues to be under attack by this current administration. And so as we go into the school year, I want us to stick to our values. I don't want us to put our heads in the sand as we see other institutions who see it that it's better to compromise or not to speak out and say what's actually happening out there. So that's what I've got to share tonight. I just want to thank everyone for being back, and I'm happy to have you here, Scarlett. We went on the 8th grade trip a few years ago with Creekside. I can't say which trip was better, but we missed you on this summer's trip. It didn't slay as much. It's great. But great to have you here.
Trust, Trustee Howard.
Well, I was glad to have July off. Always happy we get a bit of a summer as well. Just said a couple of things. The governance workshop I thought went pretty well. That was good for all of us, I think. And I was very happy to be at the new teacher orientation back a week ago or something like that. It's always nice to see the new folks that are joining us. So thanks a lot.
Trustee Raymond.
Well, I was making a list and I have been busier than I thought in the last week or so. Kicked off the school year with unexpectedly helping serve hot dogs at the 9th grade orientation. That was really fun. It was actually very fun. Everybody was in a really positive mood and it was fun to welcome all the 9th graders and hand them a hot dog and say, good luck, you guys. And, it was a very, very lovely afternoon. There was great energy there. Also got to attend one of our new hire events, just kind of made a quick appearance because I had to go to work, but it was nice to pop in and see so many wonderful faces. Like Trustee Kuziak said, so many veteran teachers coming to join us here in Castro Valley. And I hope that they're very happy here and I hope that we continue to make improvements where we can for everybody. On the first day of school, I got to follow the bus out of my neighborhood for the first time, which was wonderful. I actually cried a bit of a tear of joy. It was great to see families waving their kids goodbye on the bus, like all the way. And I live at the top of that neighborhood, so I was all the way down that hill. It was pretty exciting. And so I'll be interested to find out in the coming months how well it's being used, if it is in fact a good service to the community and whatnot, but that's been a long time coming. So it was really gratifying to see it happen. And then let's see, finally, what else? Oh, I went to ROP last week. We had our first meeting of the year there. They had a great summer with some summer school programs, including a middle school summer summit, where they had middle school students come to ROP for a couple of weeks and participate in ROP programs. Coming up in September 27th, they're doing their car show at ROP. So if you are interested in seeing stuff that's happening at ROP, you can head on down on the 27th. So that's all I got for now.
All right, very good. Of course, I was at the governance team workshop, as we all were. It was a very good workshop, really good team building and all of that, our new team here. I was at a CSBA budget workshop. So some of the things in our budget that you were speaking about, Susie, weren't new to me because I had seen that in the budget workshop and kind of helped me understand a bit of your report. Otherwise, I feel like, Pride, I was working a booth at Pride, and I've been at Pride since its first inception. There's a club I belong to that I remember when it was only like 4 or 5 booths, and it was even during I think it was even during COVID or something. It was like in a parking lot, or there was some kind of like time when it was in the library when they were doing some renovations and whatnot, and there were only it was very small at that time and just starting out. And I remember it all just starting out. And so I think I've been to the Pride celebration every single time since it started. And so that's always good to see, and it's very important to always support our kids and our families there. Otherwise, it's really nice to have July off and have a little time away from school. I was able to take a trip to Korea and a couple of days in Shanghai, China. Very interesting to have a little understanding of Asia. So I was really, that was very enlightening. So I really enjoyed that a lot. Did get some bad news in my family that I learned on Facebook. I have a niece who passed away yesterday. So that was very sad. My sister is like 12 years older than me. She was born right after World War II. This niece is about 15 years younger than me, so maybe just half a generation younger than me, and she passed away, I would say, too early. So sad to see that from cancer. So it's sort of in remembrance of Jeanette. Yeah. Yeah. Your report, or you have other comments? No? Okay. All right. So with that, and on a little happier note, it's been a very wonderful, great beginning to a school year. We have the joy of a new school year is really wonderful. I've started a new job in my old place. That has been very happy. I'm very happy that that has happened, and I'm working where I really want to be, and that type of thing. I'm a 0.6 at Hayward High. This has been happy where all the people that I really know and already, and the principals and whatnot, that I'm very pleased with all of that. And I'm really glad to see all the joy that comes from a brand new school year. And so with that, we will adjourn the first school board meeting. All right.